The Awakening. The vast expanse of space was silent, save for the rhythmic beeping of control panels within the Monolith Research Center on Earth. Dr. Ilara Voss sat in front of her holographic display, her brow furrowed in concentration as she analyzed data streaming in from deep space. The screen flickered with images of an enormous object approaching Earth, its size dwarfed even the largest known spacecraft. "Commander Holt," she called out, her voice steady despite the tremor of excitement coursing through her veins. "You need to see this." Commander Rian Holt entered the room with an air of authority, his uniform crisp and his expression serious. The moment he laid eyes on the display, his demeanor shifted, curiosity replaced caution as he leaned closer to inspect the readings. "What in the universe is that?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Ilara's fingers danced across the controls as she magnified the image. "It appears to be a fleet, at least 7 vessels, decelerating from faster-than-light travel just beyond Mars' orbit." Holt straightened up, crossing his arms over his chest as he processed this information. "And their intentions?" "Unknown," Ilara replied, her voice tinged with concern. "But their formation suggests they're not here for diplomacy." As if on cue, an urgent alert blared through the facility's intercom system. A holographic projection materialized above them, displaying an alien figure, a crystalline being radiating shades of blue and violet. "Attention, inhabitants of Earth," it announced in a melodic yet authoritative tone. "We are emissaries of the Celestial Alliance." Ilara exchanged glances with Holt, both understood that this was no ordinary encounter. "We have observed your rapid technological advancements," the alien continued, its form shifting colors as it spoke. "Such progress poses a threat to galactic stability." Holt clenched his fists at his sides while Ilara felt a chill run down her spine. "You are hereby ordered to cease all unauthorized technological development," the alien demanded. "Failure to comply will result in severe consequences." As quickly as it had appeared, the hologram vanished, leaving an oppressive silence in its wake. "This is bad," Holt muttered under his breath. Ilara nodded gravely. "We need to inform the United Earth Council immediately." In Geneva, representatives from across Earth gathered in an emergency session convened by President Alaric Voss, Ilara's estranged father and leader of humanity's united front against external threats. The tension was palpable as they debated their response to this unprecedented ultimatum. "We must comply," argued Minister Clara Jensen from the Technology Oversight Committee. "This is our chance to join a greater community and access advanced knowledge." "But at what cost?" Ilara interjected passionately as she stood before them, her heart racing with urgency. "We cannot sacrifice our autonomy for promises that may never be fulfilled." President Voss looked torn between his daughter's fervor and Jensen's pragmatic approach. "Ilara," he said gently but firmly, "the Council must consider all options." "Options?" she echoed incredulously. "You mean surrendering our future? We have no idea what these beings are truly capable of." The debate raged on for hours until finally reaching a consensus. Earth would accept limited oversight by the Celestial Alliance while negotiating terms for technological development. As news spread across media channels worldwide, Ilara felt a sense of dread settle over her like a heavy cloak. She knew that compliance would not only hinder progress but also embolden those who sought to control humanity's destiny. Back at Monolith Research Center, Ilara convened an emergency meeting with her closest colleagues, scientists and engineers who shared her vision for an independent future. "We can't just sit back and let them dictate our path," she urged passionately as they gathered around a table strewn with data pads and blueprints. "What do you propose we do?" asked Dr. Amir Patel, an expert in quantum mechanics who had always been skeptical about confronting powerful entities head-on. "We need to find their weaknesses," Ilara replied resolutely. "If we can understand their technology better than they do themselves, we might turn this situation around." "But how do we even begin?" Tessa Lin asked skeptically. Ilara smiled faintly, she had anticipated this question. We start by analyzing every piece of data we've received since their arrival, every transmission, every energy signature, until we find something they overlooked. With renewed determination coursing through them, they set to work late into the night, driven by a shared purpose, to uncover secrets hidden within layers of alien technology and ultimately strike back against those who sought to control them. As dawn broke over Monolith Research Center, Alara felt a flicker of hope igniting within her, a belief that humanity could rise against this challenge if only they dared to fight back with ingenuity and courage. Little did she know that their efforts would soon lead them down a path filled with danger and discovery, a journey that would change not only Earth but also the fate of countless civilizations across the galaxy forever. The Resistance. The tension in the air was palpable as Captain Leo Grant paced back and forth in the dimly lit command room of the Earth Defense Coalition's headquarters. The walls were lined with screens displaying real-time data from various research facilities around the globe, each one contributing to humanity's secretive response to the Celestial Alliance's ultimatum. "Are we ready?" he asked, turning to his second-in-command, Engineer Tessa Lin, who was hunched over a console, her fingers flying across the keyboard. "Almost," Tessa replied without looking up. "The energy weapon prototype is undergoing final calibrations. We should have it operational within the hour." Captain Grant nodded, his mind racing with thoughts of the impending confrontation with the Celestial Alliance. The stakes were higher than ever, humanity's autonomy was on the line, and they had no choice but to fight back. "How many facilities are we coordinating with?" he inquired, trying to keep his voice steady. "5 major sites," Tessa answered, finally looking up to meet his gaze. "Each one is working on different aspects of our countermeasures. If we can synchronize our efforts, we might stand a chance." Grant took a deep breath, steeling himself for what lay ahead. "We need to ensure that everyone understands the gravity of this mission. It's not just about technology, it's about our survival as a species." Meanwhile, in a hidden facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Marcus Wong and his team were putting the finishing touches on a revolutionary energy weapon designed specifically to counteract the advanced shielding technology of the Celestial Alliance's ships. The room was filled with a low hum of machinery and the faint smell of ozone as they worked tirelessly. "Status report," Wong called out, glancing at his lead engineer, Alina Petrov. "We're ready for a test run," Alina replied, her eyes sparkling with excitement and apprehension. "But we need to be cautious. If this fails, it could expose us." Wong nodded in agreement. "Understood. Let's run simulations first before we proceed with any live tests." As they began running through simulations on their holographic displays, Wong couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of something monumental. They had spent years developing this technology in secret, and now it was time to see if it would hold up against one of the most powerful forces in the galaxy. Back at Earth Defense Coalition headquarters, Captain Grant was addressing a group of scientists and military personnel gathered for an urgent briefing. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation as he outlined their strategy for confronting the Celestial Alliance. "We have one shot at this," Grant stated firmly. "We need to strike hard and fast before they realize what we're capable of." Tessa stepped forward, holding a holographic projection of their weapon design. "This is our new energy weapon, Project Aegis. It utilizes quantum resonance technology to bypass their shielding mechanisms." The room erupted into murmurs as everyone studied the intricate design displayed before them. "We're confident that it will work," Tessa continued, "but we need to coordinate our attack with precision. If we can catch them off guard during their next inspection visit, we might just turn the tide in our favor." Grant nodded thoughtfully. "When is their next scheduled inspection?" "In 2 days," Tessa replied. "They'll be checking multiple facilities across North America. Then we have less than 48 hours to prepare," Grant said decisively. "Let's make sure every team is ready for deployment." As night fell over New Phoenix, Captain Grant stood on a balcony overlooking the cityscape illuminated by artificial lights. He felt a mix of pride and anxiety. humanity had come together like never before in response to an external threat. In that moment of reflection, he thought about what they were fighting for, not just survival but also freedom and identity. The Celestial Alliance had underestimated humanity's resilience and ingenuity. They believed that restricting technology would limit human potential. But Grant knew better. The following day brought a flurry of activity as teams worked around the clock to finalize preparations for their counteroffensive against the Celestial Alliance. In laboratories across North America, scientists ran simulations while engineers calibrated equipment. Dr. Wong's team conducted live tests on Project Aegis in their underground facility, where tension hung thick in the air as they prepared for what could be a game-changing moment in human history. Initiating test sequence, Wong announced as he activated the control panel. Alina monitored readings closely as energy surged through their prototype weapon. The room vibrated slightly as power levels peaked. "Energy levels stable," she shouted over the noise. With bated breath, everyone watched as Wong pressed a button that would unleash a pulse of energy toward a target dummy set up several hundred meters away. The weapon fired with an intense flash of light followed by an ear-splitting crack. The dummy disintegrated into particles before anyone could react. Cheers erupted in the lab as Wong grinned widely at his team's success. "We did it!" Alina exclaimed, her face flushed with excitement. Wong raised his hand for silence. "This is just one test, we still have much work ahead of us before we can deploy this against their ships." Back at Earth Defense Coalition headquarters, Captain Grant received word from Wong about their successful test run. "This changes everything," Grant said excitedly during a video call with Wong and Tessa. "If we can replicate this success under real conditions against their fleet. We will need to ensure that our timing is perfect," Tessa interjected firmly. "If we fire too early or too late during their inspection visit, we'll lose our chance." Grant nodded thoughtfully as he considered their options. "We'll need to gather intelligence on their movements leading up to that day, find out where they'll be and when." As preparations continued into nightfall, Captain Grant found himself restless with anticipation and anxiety about what lay ahead. He stepped outside for some fresh air and gazed up at the stars twinkling above, a reminder of how vast and unknown space truly was. Suddenly, his communicator buzzed urgently in his pocket. It was Tessa calling him back inside. "Leo! You need to see this," she exclaimed breathlessly when he entered the command room again. "What is it?" he asked quickly. Tessa pointed at one of the screens displaying live feeds from surveillance drones monitoring Celestial Alliance ships orbiting Earth. "They're moving," she said excitedly. "It looks like they're preparing for something big, perhaps another inspection." Grant felt a surge of adrenaline course through him as he realized that time was running out faster than anticipated. "We need to accelerate our plans," he said decisively. "Everyone needs to be ready for deployment within 24 hours. With renewed determination fueling them all, they set about finalizing every detail of their operation, a plan that would not only determine humanity's fate but also send shockwaves throughout the galaxy when Earth finally struck back against those who sought to control them. The revelation. The inspection by Admiral CX Thor and his fleet had begun, and the atmosphere was thick with tension as Dr. Sarah Chen led the tour of the new Phoenix research facility. Every step they took felt like a delicate dance between compliance and rebellion. She could feel the eyes of her colleagues on her, each one aware that the fate of humanity hung in the balance. "Admiral," she said, her voice steady, "this facility represents our commitment to transparency and collaboration with the Confederation. We have made significant strides in our approved projects." As they moved through the halls, Dr. Chen pointed out various teams working diligently on technologies that had received the green light from the Confederation. Each project was meticulously crafted to adhere to the strict guidelines imposed upon them. "Here, we are developing advanced energy storage systems," she explained, gesturing toward a group of scientists who were monitoring a series of glowing batteries. "These will enhance our renewable energy capabilities while remaining compliant with your regulations." Admiral Thor nodded, his crystalline form shifting colors as he absorbed the information. Impressive, he replied, though a flicker of doubt crossed his features. However, our sensors have detected anomalies in your energy readings, fluctuations that do not align with what we observe here. Dr. Chen's heart raced at his words. She had anticipated this moment. They had worked tirelessly to mask their true advancements from the Confederation's sensors. We are constantly refining our systems, she said smoothly. It's possible that minor fluctuations occur as we optimize our technology. Thor regarded her carefully, his deep purple hues reflecting skepticism. I trust you understand the importance of complete transparency during this inspection. Absolutely, Admiral, she assured him, maintaining her professional demeanor despite the pressure mounting within her. Meanwhile, in a secure underground facility located beneath Lake B, Dr. Marcus Wong monitored the inspection from afar. His team had been preparing for this moment for months, ensuring that their hidden projects remained undetected while still gathering vital data on the Confederation's technology. We're picking up unusual energy signatures from their ships, Wong reported to his team, his eyes glued to the screens displaying real-time data feeds from both Earth and space. What do you think it means? Alina Petrov asked anxiously. It could be a sign that they're starting to notice something is off, Wong replied thoughtfully. We need to be ready for anything. As they continued to analyze incoming data, Wong's mind raced with possibilities. The Confederation had grown complacent in their dominance. They assumed that by restricting humanity's technological advancements, they could control Earth completely. But Wong knew differently. Humans were inherently innovative and resourceful. Back at the inspection site, Dr. Chen led Admiral Thor into a high-security laboratory where they showcased their latest project, an advanced quantum shielding system designed to protect human spacecraft from external threats. This technology is a testament to our commitment to progress under your guidance, she stated confidently as she activated the demonstration. The room filled with a soft hum as energy coursed through the shielding apparatus. A holographic projection displayed various scenarios where the shielding would protect against incoming projectiles or energy blasts. Impressive, Thor remarked, his form glowing with shades of blue and green as he observed the demonstration closely. Dr. Chen seized this moment to push further. Admiral, I believe that our advancements can contribute significantly to galactic stability if we are allowed more freedom in our research. Thor's expression shifted slightly at her boldness but remained guarded. You must understand that any deviation from established protocols could lead to severe consequences. As they concluded their demonstration, Dr. Chen felt a surge of determination within her. She knew that while they were playing a dangerous game of deception, there was still hope for humanity's future, a future where they could reclaim their autonomy without succumbing to fear. Later that evening, as Admiral Thor prepared for a debriefing with his command staff aboard his flagship, he couldn't shake off the feeling of unease that had settled over him during the inspection. The humans had displayed remarkable ingenuity and adaptability, qualities he respected but also feared. Admiral, one of his officers began cautiously as they reviewed data collected during the inspection, the energy fluctuations we detected earlier are becoming more pronounced. Thor's crystalline form flickered with concern as he considered this news. What do you propose we do? We should increase surveillance on key facilities across Earth, the officer suggested. If they are hiding something significant, we need to uncover it before it becomes a threat. Agreed, Thor replied firmly. Prepare for an extended observation period and ensure that all communications are monitored closely. Back on Earth, Dr. Wong convened an emergency meeting with his team after receiving word about Admiral Thor's concerns regarding energy fluctuations. We need to accelerate our timeline, Wong urged passionately as he addressed his colleagues gathered around a holographic table displaying various schematics and data feeds. The Confederation is becoming suspicious of us, Alina noted grimly. If they increase their surveillance efforts, we risk exposure. Wong nodded in agreement. That's why we need to finalize Project Oracle sooner rather than later. If we can demonstrate our capabilities before they catch on to what we're doing, it could shift their perception entirely. Dr. Chen joined them via video link from New Phoenix, her expression serious as she listened intently to Wang's plan. "What do you need from me?" she asked. "We need your expertise in quantum mechanics for one final test run," Wang explained urgently. "If we can show them something groundbreaking, something beyond their understanding, it might buy us time and allow us to continue our work undetected." Dr. Chen hesitated for a moment but then nodded resolutely. "I'm in." As preparations ramped up for Project Oracle's final test run beneath Antarctica's icy surface, Dr. Wang and his team worked tirelessly day and night to ensure everything was ready for what could be humanity's most significant leap forward in technology. While they labored in secrecy, Admiral Thor remained vigilant aboard his flagship, convinced that Earth was hiding something monumental beneath its surface, a revelation that would change everything about their relationship with humanity. Little did he know just how right he was. Soon enough, both sides would come face to face with truths neither was prepared for, truths that would reshape not only their destinies but also the very fabric of galactic history itself. The strike. The atmosphere in the control center beneath the Rockies was electric with anticipation. Dr. Marcus Wang sat at the helm, surrounded by his team of scientists and engineers, each one acutely aware that they were on the brink of something monumental. The inspection fleet of the Celestial Alliance was on Earth, and their every move was being monitored. "Admiral Thor is in the New Phoenix facility now," Wang announced, his voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through him. "We need to be ready to execute Operation Blindside at a moment's notice." Tessa Lin, his lead engineer, glanced at the holographic display showing real-time feeds from various research facilities across the globe. "Our hidden networks are all operational, but we have to ensure that everything remains undetected during this inspection." Wang nodded, his mind racing with thoughts of what lay ahead. "We've spent years preparing for this moment. If we can successfully demonstrate our advancements without revealing our true capabilities, we can turn the tide against the Confederation." Meanwhile, in New Phoenix, Dr. Sarah Chen guided Admiral Thor through the facility, maintaining her calm demeanor as they moved from one demonstration to another. Each project had been meticulously crafted to adhere to Confederation guidelines while concealing humanity's true technological prowess. "Impressive work," Thor remarked as they observed a team of scientists conducting tests on a new energy-efficient propulsion system. "Your species has adapted remarkably well to our oversight." "Thank you, Admiral," Chen replied, her heart racing as she forced herself to smile. "We believe that collaboration can lead to greater advancements for all." As they continued their tour, Chen felt a growing sense of urgency. They needed to buy time until Wang's team could execute their plan. Back in the control center, Wang's team monitored the energy signatures of the Confederation ships hovering above Earth. They were aware that Admiral Thor had expressed concerns about anomalies in energy readings, fluctuations that suggested something was amiss. "We need to create a distraction," Tessa suggested, her eyes narrowing as she studied the data streams. "If we can draw their attention away from our hidden operations, we might stand a chance." Wang considered her words carefully. "What do you have in mind?" "We could initiate a controlled energy surge from one of our approved facilities," Tessa proposed. "It would create enough noise for them to investigate while we prepare for our demonstration." "Do it," Wang ordered decisively. "But make sure it looks like a malfunction, something they can easily dismiss." As Tessa coordinated with another research facility to initiate the energy surge, Dr. Chen continued her tour with Admiral Thor. The tension was palpable as they approached a section of the facility designated for advanced propulsion systems. "This project represents our commitment to sustainable energy solutions," Chen explained as they entered a large chamber filled with sleek spacecraft models. Thor examined one of the prototypes closely, his crystalline form shifting colors as he analyzed its design. "Your engineering is commendable," he said slowly. "But I must remind you that any unauthorized advancements will not be tolerated." "Of course, Admiral," Chen replied smoothly, masking her anxiety beneath a veneer of professionalism. Suddenly, an alarm blared throughout the facility, a piercing sound that echoed off the walls and sent technicians scrambling. "What's happening?" Thor demanded, his form flickering with agitation. Chen's heart raced as she glanced at her team members who were frantically typing on their consoles. "It appears there's been an energy fluctuation in one of our test chambers," she said quickly. "I'll go check it out." As Dr. Chen led Admiral Thor and several other Confederation officials toward the source of the alarm, Wong's team initiated Operation Blindside from their control center deep beneath the Rockies. "Surge initiated," Tessa announced as she monitored energy readings from various facilities across Earth. "Now we wait." The controlled surge sent ripples through Earth's energy grid, causing sensors aboard the Confederation ships to light up with alerts. "Admiral," one of Thor's officers called out as they approached the test chamber. "We're detecting significant fluctuations in energy output from Facility 7. Thor frowned but followed Chen into the chamber where technicians were desperately trying to stabilize equipment that had begun to spark and flicker. "This is unacceptable," he barked at Chen, who feigned concern as she surveyed the chaos unfolding before them. "I assure you, Admiral," she said calmly, "we will resolve this immediately." Back in the control center, Wong and his team watched as their plan unfolded perfectly on their screens. "They're distracted," Wong said with a hint of satisfaction in his voice. "Now we need to execute Phase 2, initiate Project Oracle's test run." Tessa nodded and activated another console displaying Project Oracle's schematics deep beneath Antarctica. "All systems are ready for launch," she confirmed. Wong took a deep breath before giving the order, "Initiate Project Oracle." In Antarctica, deep beneath layers of ice and rock, Dr. James Henderson and his team prepared for their momentous test run. The chamber hummed with energy as they activated their faster-than-light travel system. "All readings are stable," Henderson reported as he monitored data streams flowing from various sensors around them. "Prepare for activation sequence," he ordered firmly. As they initiated the sequence, waves of quantum fluctuations rippled through spacetime around them, an effect that would be invisible to Confederation sensors but powerful enough to propel them into another realm of existence. Back in New Phoenix, Admiral Thor was still grappling with the chaos caused by the alarm when he received word about unusual energy readings coming from Antarctica. "Admiral," an officer called out urgently. "We're detecting massive energy spikes originating from an unregistered facility deep beneath Antarctica." Thor's crystalline form shifted dramatically from agitation to alarm as he realized what this could mean. Earth was hiding something significant beneath its surface. "We need to investigate immediately," he commanded. As Dr. Chen managed damage control amid the chaos in New Phoenix, she felt a surge of hope mixed with trepidation about what was happening in Antarctica. If Project Oracle succeeded, it would not only demonstrate humanity's ingenuity but also give them a fighting chance against the Confederation's oppressive oversight. With every passing moment, Earth was poised on the brink of transformation, a revolution born not from brute force but from creativity and resilience against those who sought to suppress them. As Admiral Thor prepared his fleet for an emergency investigation into Antarctica's anomalies, humanity was about to unveil its hidden potential, a revelation that would stun not just their would-be controllers but also reshape their place within the galaxy forever. The aftermath. The atmosphere was tense aboard Admiral CX Thor's flagship as he concluded the inspection of Earth's research facilities. The tour had gone precisely as planned, with every demonstration meticulously crafted to showcase humanity's compliance with the Confederation's restrictions. Yet, beneath the surface, a different narrative was unfolding, one that would soon challenge everything he believed about humanity. As the fleet prepared to depart, Thor gathered his senior officers in the command room. The holographic display flickered to life, showing a detailed analysis of the energy readings collected during their time on Earth. "Admiral," one of his officers began, "our sensors have detected anomalies in energy patterns that do not align with the approved technologies we observed." Thor's crystalline form flickered with shades of orange and red, signs of his growing concern. "What do you mean? Are you suggesting that Earth is concealing something from us?" "Yes, sir," the officer replied cautiously. "The energy signatures are too uniform, too perfect. It's as if they're masking something beneath layers of compliance." Thor's mind raced as he considered the implications. He had come to admire humanity's adaptability, but now he wondered if that adaptability was being wielded against them. "We need to investigate further. Prepare a detailed report for the Confederation Council and request authorization for a deeper inspection." Meanwhile, deep beneath the ice of Antarctica, Dr. James Henderson and his team were putting the finishing touches on Project Oracle. They had been working tirelessly for months, harnessing the natural quantum fluctuations of space to develop a revolutionary form of faster-than-light travel. "All systems are ready," Henderson announced as he stood before a massive control panel displaying intricate data streams. "This test will determine if we can achieve stable FTL travel without detection." His team gathered around him, their expressions a mix of excitement and anxiety. They knew that success could change the course of human history, but failure could expose them to the very forces they sought to evade. "Initiating launch sequence," Henderson said firmly. As he pressed the button, a low hum filled the chamber, and energy began to coalesce around the experimental craft designed for this mission. Back in New Phoenix, Dr. Sarah Chen monitored communications from her hidden network of research facilities. She had been receiving encrypted updates from Wong's team in the Rockies and Henderson's team in Antarctica. "The Admiral suspects something," she reported during a secure briefing with her colleagues. "We need to be prepared for any eventuality. What if they decide to increase their surveillance?" Tessa Lin asked anxiously. "We'll adapt," Chen replied confidently. "We've spent years developing technologies that operate outside their understanding. If we need to shift our focus or relocate projects, we will." As Project Oracle powered up for its test run beneath Antarctica, Admiral Thor's fleet was already en route back to their command center on Luna. The Admiral remained troubled by his observations on Earth. Something felt off about humanity's compliance. "Prepare for hyperspace jump," he ordered his crew as they entered orbit around Luna. As they transitioned into hyperspace, Thor couldn't shake off the feeling that they were missing something crucial about Earth, a vital piece of information that could shift their understanding of humanity entirely. Hours later, back in Antarctica, Project Oracle completed its launch sequence successfully. The experimental craft surged forward, riding the natural quantum fluctuations like a surfer catching waves on an ocean. "Stabilizing trajectory," Henderson called out as he monitored data feeds from various sensors aboard the craft. The team watched in awe as their screens displayed readings indicating stable faster-than-light travel, a feat they had only dreamed of achieving without detection. "We did it!" Alina Petrov shouted, her voice filled with exhilaration as she exchanged glances with her colleagues. But just as they celebrated their success, alarms blared throughout the facility. "Intruder alert," echoed through the control room as security systems activated in response to an unexpected breach. Back on Luna, Admiral Thor reviewed reports from his officers about Earth's recent developments. As he scanned through data logs and energy readings from various facilities across Earth and Antarctica, a realization began to dawn on him. "They're not just complying, they're innovating," he murmured under his breath. His officers exchanged concerned glances as they processed what this could mean for their oversight over humanity. "Admiral," one officer spoke hesitantly, "if Earth is developing new technologies without our knowledge." Thor interrupted sharply, "Then we must act quickly before it becomes a threat." In Antarctica, chaos erupted as security personnel scrambled to assess the situation following the breach alarm. Dr. Henderson and his team quickly initiated lockdown procedures while attempting to ascertain what had triggered the alarms. "Everyone stay calm," Henderson shouted over the commotion. "Secure all sensitive data and prepare for evacuation protocols if necessary." As tensions mounted within the facility, they realized that someone had infiltrated their operations, someone who could jeopardize everything they had worked for. Back at Earth Defense Coalition headquarters in New Phoenix, Dr. Chen received alarming news about an unauthorized breach at one of their key research facilities in Antarctica. "This is bad," she said urgently during an emergency meeting with her colleagues. "If they discover Project Oracle or any other hidden developments, we need to mobilize our teams immediately," Wang suggested decisively. "We can't allow them to find out what we've accomplished." Chen nodded resolutely. She understood that time was running out. They needed to protect their innovations while preparing for an inevitable confrontation with the Confederation. As Admiral Thor's fleet prepared for another inspection back on Earth following disturbing reports from Antarctica, Dr. Chen and her team were already devising contingency plans that would ensure humanity's survival against those who sought to control them. The stage was set for an unprecedented showdown between Earth and its would-be overseers, a clash not just of technology but of ideologies and aspirations that would reverberate throughout the galaxy for generations to come. Little did they know that this conflict would redefine what it meant to be human in an ever-expanding universe, a universe where freedom and innovation would ultimately triumph over oppression and control.